So these are my Facebook posts, so there is no sequence or order. As and when I get a mood, I just post something that comes to the mind. What is my final step of work with mental traps, sir? Dissolve self-importance, the ninth trap. Yeah. Mental traps are certain mindsets that trap the operating self, the I, or the will, by which an individual expresses his emotions or his responses to situations and entities and things and phenomena and people, his behavior, his or her ways of doing things, his ways of relating with others or to self, or his ways of language. So the traps are high, all these five components of a human entity, namely expressions, responses, behaviors, ways of doing, relationships and language, will get significantly curtailed depending upon the extent of mental traps, which can go up till 98%. The mental traps is too high, the individuals become mentally deranged or mentally shut down, and so on. I have written a book by name The Nine Mental Traps, so that gives much in detail about mental traps. And the ninth mental trap is self-importance. So individuals with self-importance will appear as, in common language, very egoistic, very self-dominating, arrogant, bossy, and so on, maybe in expressions or responses or behaviors, in relationships, and of course in language. So even in my case, I realize that I have a certain self-importance. So my disciple or my student or my trainee is asking to me, what is my final step of work with mental traps? When I have mental traps, or at least mental blocks are minimal but operative, but not of a trapping level. I don't have a mental trap of self-importance, but definitely there is an extent of mental block of self-importance gathered over years of my work experience, my doctoral work, and my 9 books published in Amazon.com, or my training programs in various organizations and senior level managers and so on and so forth. So a certain extent of self-importance is still with me. I identify that because I understand the Zen mind of no mind. Therefore, I assume there is an extent of self-importance. It's at a very different level. In fact, even worries and anxieties and depressions and disappointments and frustrations are also the result of self-importance. Who am I to be somebody or somewhere or to have something? All kinds of desires and hopes and aspirations are still operating in me. Some of those aspirations are possibly driven by my self-importance. If my self is a Zen self of nobodiness, I cannot have any depression or disappointment about anything. Even self-importance may have a role even in illnesses. Why should I have a headache or an illness? Okay, they are all there. Okay, let me tolerate it. Okay, so that's the level of my final step of working with the mental traps of self-importance. Okay. Yeah. So one of the trainees was asking, what shall I do to know or feel the creature? Creature, I mean the human creature with us. Creature meaning that which is alive, from an earthworm to the human being. So I have the concept of Jiva Yoga, or unification with the creature, tuning with the creature. which is opposite of tuning with the person, that mental trapped, mental blocked person. Okay. So in that discussion, someone is asking me, what shall I do to know or feel the creature? Of course, there are clear steps. To feel the creature is rather easy, all right. But from the point of view of the various asanas in connection with the Jiva Yoga, I suggested to him do Shavasana. Shavasana meaning to lie down like a corpse, like a dead body, completely relaxed, leaving entire control over the body to nothingness, just to lie down like a little baby. So, and attention to be focused on that kind of a body lying down there in Shavasana. Shava meaning dead body. So when the disciple is asking, one of the ways to feel the creature is to do Shavasana with awareness, with attention focused on the entire body. So my next Facebook post, dated September 19, 2025, is, I don't understand the connection between religion and God. A student is telling me, a learner is telling me, because he is actually proceeding too high to understand the nature of God. He almost got a feel of the way the so-called God, or whatever is named God. So he could see the fallacy or the ideology of religions, which are of course meaningful, which are created for the normal distribution of the majority. So he is telling me, I don't understand the connection between religion and God. So actually I understand the connection or the lack of connection, but I just told him I too don't understand. I mean in a different sense that how people could relate God, so-called real God, if they understand, how I don't understand actually how the so-called clerics and the leaders and managers and followers of religion talk about God in connection with religion. So these are the three slides, the last about 3 slides. Okay, thank you.